And so the benefit is a historical benefit. So we're supporting businesses that actually will promote and hire and work with and collaborate with other Black businesses. And so by supporting a Black business, you're supporting a business that hopefully will hire Black individuals, will hire Black youth. You're also supporting a business that is pouring into the economy as far as like a Black business. So making sure that that Black dollar cycles beyond just you giving it to them. They then go and collaborate and work with somebody like a vendor or a marketing person that's Black owned. And so we're keeping that money going within the Black community. So it's a way to keep the Black dollar cycling within the Black community. And I believe that's one of the top benefits. And then also just knowing that you're supporting somebody who looks like you, right? Supporting somebody, which, you know, a lot of times people say, I want a good, you know, business. And a lot of these businesses are good businesses, but supporting somebody who offers good services and good products, and they happen to look just like you.
Uh, you know, when we look at our great grandparents, they only bought Black because that was their only opportunity. Other cultures have historically bought within their culture to improve their culture. So if you look at Indians, if you look at uh, um, Spanish culture, if you look at the Jewish culture, they have historically used their money and their resources within their culture, within their environment. Now, one might say, oh, maybe because they couldn't drive across town and give their money to someone. Well, that's not true. But they recognize that if I have a resource and I customize and patronize the persons who are similar to myself, have the similar challenges and similar choices of promotion of our groups, it will circle back to benefit me. We are the only culture that no matter who makes it, we will go buy it. But the number one thing that is amazing about that, anything we make, everyone else wants to either duplicate or get us to do it for them instead
Wow.
of doing for ourselves.
So I think for the most part is knowing where to look. So people a lot of times will call the chamber asking us for plumbers or technicians or, you know, people to prepare their taxes, like I mentioned before. And so it's helping them to kind of understand, like, you need to go to the website, you need to look at our directory as well. But then also just attending our events, like that's always a way to grab business cards and meet people and networks that you can also build your own list of preferred services and preferred businesses that you have as somebody who wants to support and buy Black. And so that's been a major challenge for us. But another on the opposite side is making sure that we're doing our part to provide the public with access to our directory so that they can actually see all the businesses that are part of the chamber. So, you know, making sure that information is up to date, making sure that those businesses are still around and still active, making sure their website is up to date, making sure the social media is up to date. So those have been a challenging on both sides, making sure that the consumers actually understand where to get the information from, but then also making sure that the businesses in the directory that we have is up to date and actually current with those contact information for those businesses.
I went to every conference I go to that is multiple nations and nationalities within the conference. The number one music played is Black music. Number one, not like maybe there's country, maybe there's hip. No, number one music played because it is the only music that excites the crowd. And the number one reason you're having a conference is to motivate and excite them. So what we have harnessed and found the ability to do is use music, use color, use culture, use clothing to incentivize, motivate, and shape everyone's culture because everyone wants to be like ours. The only one thing we have decided not to do, which is simply a choice, is to buy within that same culture. So I would say to the question of how do we encourage each other to spend our dollar with ourselves, I think we first have to realize everyone else outside of your group is utilizing your likeness and your product to make tons of revenue that will never return to your community. If you go to the Jewish community, there is not a Jewish model being sold somewhere that is not in the Jewish community. There is not a Jewish restaurant that sends all of the food to downtown somewhere other than the Jewish community. So all of the Jewish people spend the money within the Jewish community. Now, I will also say, as a Black entrepreneur, we have to also say, listen, there is a price and there is a what can I do for my people? Meaning the price is $1,000. I respect that. I understand that. But we must understand that Louis Vuitton, while it may be $1,000 purse, is not sold for $1,000 to everyone. It
Mm.
is sold for $1,000 to you. What do we do for our members? Our members get a 50%, 60%, 30% discount. We send our members, the people we want to send it to, a coupon or a, oh my God, I found out this and it blew my mind. There is a uh not Kate Spade, but there is a women's department line
Mm-hmm.
that my wife loved. Her friend says that they call her once a year and she goes to the back room. They give her wine. They give her a huge discount because she's a shopper there. Well, my question to you is, we can recognize that $1,000 is customarily what I want to earn for this product, and I'm going to sell it for $1,000. But I also need to see that if the client pays $1,000, I should be willing to put an article in their school book, make a small donation to the whatever. So it is still $1,000, but the $1,000 gets regenerated back into the person who gave the $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that because that is what's happening in these other communities. And the money is able to circulate because they go back and donate within the people who spent the money with them. I just had a client, and I'm gonna be brief. I just had a client come to me, and the client said, Tiba, will you do us a favor? This person needs more than they can afford, and we would like to do business with you. It is beautiful here. What can we do? I said, we can work it out. So here's what we did. I gave them a discount, and here's what they said. They said, I wanna help you advertise. I want to put your company on my magazine. I want to give you 4 referrals I know right now that need your business. So what happened just now is the money I would have spent on advertising, I
Mm.
spent it in her. The money she would spend on a venue, she didn't have to pay, but she is now we are both using 2 resources to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we have to do.
So I would have to mention one of my favorite ones, which is Black Restaurant Week. They do a phenomenal job at promoting Black businesses in the culinary industry. So thinking beyond just Black restaurants, but we're talking Black cafes, we're talking Black catering companies. We're even talking like Black companies that do meal prep. So they do a really amazing job. Again, they have a directory just like we do, making sure the information is accessible to the public, but they're also pouring back into these Black businesses through grant opportunities, through trainings, through webinars and different events that really help to ensure that these businesses are growing and being able to have sustainable restaurants and culinary businesses for the long term.
My son asked me the number one question that most would ask about the boycott that was with Target the other day and the like. My son said, "Daddy, that doesn't make any sense. This man is not our leader. He cannot say that we do this or that." I said, "Wait, son, you must understand. He is saying I recommend we stick together. I recommend that if a person is not for you, then they're not for me. And since they're not for us, we should spend the money with each other." So he didn't get it at first, but as we stuck in there and did not spend our money in places we shouldn't, he he eventually saw that who else was going to sell to you? Who else was going to create a product to better you other than you?
So we have our Network and Nourish, which is our monthly second Tuesday event, which allows the public, so if anywhere from business owners to people in the public policy, to some of our corporate members, to even, like I mentioned before, consumers, people who work 9 to 5, to come and to network, cross network. So you're networking with people in different industries, and you're also networking with people that you want to support and buy from, right? And so we have vendor booths at these events where some of these small businesses can set up and share information on the services or products that they offer, but then also the customers and the people that are in the room can get information on the services and products as well.